Right. Students, online students, am I audible to you? Okay. So let us move to the further. I hope in the previous session, what was completed? Hmm? What is that? Huh? What is completed? What just said? Hmm. What is the topic completed in the last class? Huh? Introduction to, introduction to inheritance and types of inheritances we completed. How many types of inheritances? Five types. What are the, tell me, five types, tell me. Fast. Hmm? Single level. Single, single inheritance, multi inheritance, hybrid level inheritance. So hybrid level, uh, multi level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance. So any levels, single level inheritance, hybrid level inheritance. కొత్త కనిపెట్టకును ఓకే చూడ వాట్ ఇస్ మల్టీ లెవెల్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ లేపోయినా లేకపోయి ఎట్లా వాట్ ఇస్ మల్టీ లెవెల్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ మల్టీ లెవెల్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ డెఫినేషన్ నాట్ అటెండెడ్ ఎస్టర్డే అటెండెడ్ అటెండెడ్ క్లాస్ వాట్ ఇస్ మల్టీ లెవెల్ నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ ఇస్ మల్టీ లెవెల్ multiple one base class multiple subclasses is called what one base class multiple subclasses is called what hierarchical inheritance multi level inheritance no next what is multi level inheritance అది చూసుకుంటున్నాడు అప్పుడు అది ఓపెన్ అవ్వదులే ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ ఇస్ మల్టీ లెవెల్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ intermediate base classes or bare classes base or bare classes base classes sure next what is intermediate base class hmm? What is intermediate base class next what is intermediate base class something class no class next what is intermediate base class don't fold the hands stand normal what is intermediate base class next what is intermediate base class yes an intermediate base class is a subclass for its base class and superclass it's a subclass or intermediate base class in one moment act as a derived class in another moment it act as base class if you don't have the power of communication how you can hybrid level inheritance single level inheritance ఇంకేంటది మల్టీ లెవెల్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ hierarchical level inheritance everything level చూడ read the notes now I will go to next I will move to the further last class we already started with types of inheritances and their types also we learned it so I'll move to the further inheritance types of inheritances completed and their definitions also completed now it is the time to see to go to the syntax for inheriting the features of base class into derived class. So I'm going to discuss about another one. So we need to go to programmatically now. Inheriting the features of base class to inheriting the features of base class into which class? Derived class. Into derived class. Now I'm going to enter into the base class to derived class, how to take it. To inherit the features of base class into derived class, we use the following syntax. To inherit the base class features of base class into derived class, we use the following syntax. We use the following syntax. So there we are going to enter into the further. So there I'm going to write the syntax. Okay. So there I'm writing class. So what is the syntax for defining the class? What is the syntax for defining the class? Class, class name, class name. There I'm going to write it. Indentation, some block of statements, maybe data members, maybe methods. We can write. What is the full definition of a class? Backside. What is the perfect definition of a class? Backside. Don't fold the hands. Why are you folding the hands? Keep the బటన్ లేదు తీసేసా కట్ చేసా తెలుగు స్టూడెంటా తెలుగు హిందీ వాట్ ద డెఫినేషన్ ఆఫ్ క్లాస్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ డెఫినేషన్ ఆఫ్ క్లాస్ అండ్ class is a collection of data members and methods and like that if you say to interior and you are not a small kid and you are not a big kid, you are middle kid. Class is a collection of data members and methods and like that. What is that? Next, what is the definition of a class? Fast. Hmm? Right. So this suspectingly saying correct. You are very good. Class is a collection of class is a collection of data members, methods, constructors, and destructors. Not like after methods and like that. No. Next. What is the purpose of constructor? Don't fold the hands, I said. What is the purpose of constructor? Don't know. Why? Breakfast completed. Subject not completed. Next. What is the purpose of parameter constructor? Next. What is the purpose of default constructor? To initialize the. What is the purpose of parameters constructor? నేను పర్పస్ అడుగుతున్నా నేను ప్రతి ఒక్కదానికి ఆన్సర్ చెప్తున్నావు కానీ కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్ చెప్పాలి ఎగ్జామ్ లో రాయడం రాస్తాము అది కరెక్టా రాంగ్ అనేది నేను డిసైడ్ చేస్తాను నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ డోంట్ నో నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద డెఫినేషన్ ఆఫ్ డిఫాల్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ చదువుకునేది లేదు పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ ఇస్ టు ఇనిషియలైజ్ ద ఆబ్జెక్ట్ పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ డిఫాల్ట్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ ఇస్ టు ఇనిషియలైజ్ ద మల్టిపుల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ సేమ్ క్లాస్ విత్ సేమ్ వాల్యూస్ పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ పారామీటర్స్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ ఇస్ టు ఇనిషియలైజ్ ద మల్టిపుల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ సేమ్ క్లాస్ విత్ డిఫరెంట్ వాల్యూస్ అలా చెప్పాలి మనం చెప్తే ఎలా ఉండాలా అంత మధురంగా చెప్పాలి నేను ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అడిగితే దానికి సమాధానం వేరే చెప్తే రాంగ్ అది మాట్లాడాలి యూ నీట్ స్పీక్ అవుట్ చూడం మీరు కూడా రెడీ ఉండండి మీ దగ్గర కూడా వస్తారు కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ సో నెక్స్ట్ గర్ల్స్ మీ దగ్గర కూడా వస్తాం మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు అందరిని అడుగుతాయి ఈరోజు క్వశ్చన్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీబడి ఐ విల్ ఆస్క్ క్వశ్చన్ టుడే ఇన్ మిడిల్ ఆఫ్ ద క్లాస్ సో ఐ విల్ గో టు డోంట్ ట్రై టు రీడ్ ద నోట్స్ కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ రీడ్ ద నోట్స్ ఐ విల్ ఆస్క్ ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్ యూ కెనాట్ ప్రిడిక్ట్ ఇట్ నౌ go to class name 2 cls name 2 cls name 2 class name 2 want to take the features from where class name 1 class name 1 what are the features of class data members methods constructors destructor from there what are getting inherited if you want to inherit the features of class name 1 into class name 2 I need to say open the couple brace and I need to write what cls name 1 cls name 1 I will write it colon all the features of class name 1 are coming to where class name 2 class name 2 class name 2 they are coming there I will write it what here I will write something like this these are the all the data members of class name 1 are coming to where class name 2 inheritance will follow which memory management backside inheritance will follow which memory management first inheritance will follow which memory management don't look at the chat box look at me look at the bottle which memory management it will follow next which memory management it will follow Don't look at the chart box. Look at the bottle. Next, inheritance will follow which memory management? Don't know. Why? Next, what is virtual memory management? What is virtual memory management? Inheritance will follow which memory management? Virtual memory management. Yesterday I said no. What is virtual memory management? Next, what is virtual memory management? Next, what is virtual memory management? కొత్తగా లేసి నిల్చుంటే సరిపోద్దా? మళ్ళీ చూడండి అంతా వెరీ స్మాల్ 100 kg. Sit. Next, virtual memory management. What is virtual memory management? Neither we write the source code nor takes the physical memory space. That is called what? Virtual memory management. Correct. What is virtual memory management? Neither we write the source code nor takes the physical memory management memory space. చెప్పు సరే. లే. వాట్ ఈస్ వర్చువల్ మెమరీ మేనేజ్మెంట్? నేను చెప్పినా కదా ఇప్పుడు 3 సార్లు చెప్పా. వాట్ ఈస్ వర్చువల్ మెమరీ మేనేజ్మెంట్? నెయిదర్ వి రైట్ source code nor takes physical memory space. Shall I tell once? Neither we take source code. Neither source code nor takes the physical memory space. అదేనా చెప్పేది? చెప్పడం కూడా నేర్చుకోవాలి. కూర్చో. మళ్ళీ వస్తాను నీ దగ్గర క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతా మళ్ళా. సో class name 2 of what? Class name 1. All the features of class name 1 are coming to where? Class name 2. Next, last. What type of inheritance it is? What type of inheritance it is? సింగిల్ లెవెల్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్. ఫ్రెండ్, ఈ ఫ్రెండ్ ఈయన చెప్పాను ఫ్రెండా. అందుకనే మొత్తం ఫ్రెండ్స్ అంత వైరస్ అంటే అంత ఉంటుంది. వాట్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్? సింగిల్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్. రైట్. షూర్. నౌ ఐ విల్ గో టు నెక్స్ట్. This is called a single inheritance, right? Next, I will write one more kind of class. Class CLS name 2, CLS name 3. CLS name 3 want to get it. CLS name 2 features. So I'm going to write it. CLS name 2. CLS name 2. I will write some more block of statements. This is called which inheritance? Multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Next. So I'm going to remove that. Now I'm going to remove that. Here I'm going to write it. CLS name 1 I am writing. CLS name 1 I am writing. Next, which type of inheritance it is? Which type of inheritance it is? హైరార్కికల్. ఎందుకంటే మల్టీ లెవెల్ తర్వాత అదే ఉందని. ఏం స్టూడెంట్స్, నాకు తెలుసు మీరు ఏం చెప్తారో కూడా. సో మల్టీ లెవెలా, మల్టిపులా, హైబ్రిడా, సింగిలా? After multi-level, I said. Now next is, sir will ask that question only. Do you think like that? How much intelligent I am, you cannot predict it. So tell me, what is this multi-level inheritance? This is multi-level, hierarchical. See the diagram once. See the diagram. Class name 1, class name 2. Both the class name 1, class name 2. Both of them are coming to where? Class name 3. Which type of inheritance it is? Tell me now. Silence. Multi-level. మళ్ళీ నవ్వుతావు దానికి మళ్ళీ పక్కన. మల్టీ లెవెలా, మల్టిపులా? Multiple inheritance. Multiple. Why? Multiple base classes, single derived class. Yesterday only completed. What inheritance it is? Multiple. Spell out. Multiple inheritance. So, with this type of syntax, I can prepare either multiple inheritance, multi-level, single level, any inheritance I can write it. So, I can write class name n, I will write it. Class name n, I will write it. N plus 1. Here I will write it. Class name n, I will write it here. Class name n, I will write it. In this case, class name n. Now I'm going to write it. Class name n, I'm writing it. In this place, class name 1, class name 2, class name, so on, I will write class name n. These are all class name n. Which type of inheritance? This is overall conclusion. multiple. So with my knowledge on the classes, I can prepare single inheritance, I can prepare multi-level inheritance, I can prepare multiple inheritance, I can prepare hybrid inheritance, whatever the way I want, I can prepare it. Right? Online students, are you following? All I'm asking today, questions to every offline student. Are you following? Is the questions which I'm asking to offline students, are you having the answers with you people? Do you have the answers with you, the people which I'm asking? Do you have the answer for that? Okay, good. Now I'm going to write it. See, they're having answers. Whatever the questions I'm asking, Malayali, they are going to back bitching. So, sir, if they are sitting in front of you, they will get answer or not, they will be getting. So, that is your compromising, right? Yes, sir. So, they are saying they have the answer. Now I'm going to write it. What is this class name 1, class name 2, class name n? Here I'm writing class name 1, class name 2, class name n are called what? Sit down and say. Are called what? 33% reservation. Are called what? మరి నవ్వుతారు ఎందుకు మళ్ళీ మీరు? నవ్వొద్దు ఎప్పుడు. ఎప్పుడు నవ్వాలి? జాబ్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత నవ్వాలి. యూ నీడ్ టు లాఫ్ వెన్ యూ గెట్ ఎ జాబ్. వాట్ ఈస్ క్లాస్ నేమ్ 1, క్లాస్ నేమ్ 2, క్లాస్ నేమ్ n ఆర్ కాల్డ్? కరెక్ట్. కరెక్ట్. వెరీ గుడ్. ఆర్ కాల్డ్ బేస్ or what classes? Super classes. Super classes. Super classes. Now here I'm writing class name n plus 1. Class name n plus 1. Class name n plus 1. Now I'm writing n plus 1 or is called which class? Derived class. Derived class. So here, online students, you follow me. Here I'm writing all the features of class name 1, class name 2, class name n are inherited into which class? Class name n plus 1. Derived class we can call. Also we call it as what? Subclass also we can call. This is called a subclass. We can also call it as a subclass. Okay. Here, all the features of which classes? Class name 1, class name 2, class name n, that are called what now? Base classes. Base classes are or inherited inherited virtually in which class? Class name n plus 1. 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 What is the class name n plus 1 is called? What I said? Derived class, I said. Derived class. Once they are inherited into derived class, I can call them with respect to the object, with respect to the class name, depends on the type of data members they are inheriting. If they are instance inheriting, I will call with respect to object. If they are inheriting class level, I will call it as what? Class name dot inherited. So already you know what is the meaning of what? Virtual. Virtually they are inheriting into where? Class name n plus 1. Now students, next I'm going to enter into the further. Now I'm going to take it. One important point I want to prepare. For that, I'm preparing one small diagrammatic representation now. One diagrammatic representation I'm going to take it. So I'm going to take it C1. I'm taking C2. Now I'm taking C3. Like this, I'm going to take it. So C1 to C2, C2 to C3. Now I'm going to take something like this. So these are I'm going to take it C1 to C2, C2 to C3. Something like this, I'm going to take it. This is C1. Next, I'm going to take it C2. Next, I'm going to take it C3. This is called C1, C2, C3. These are C1, C2, C3. Okay. Then overall picture is what you know. There is a data member called A. There is a data member called B. There is a data member called C. These are called data members. These are called data members. So I'm writing the class called C1, C1, something. I'm writing class name called C2, class name called C2 of C1, of C1. Now I'm writing class name called C3, class name called C3 of C2, something like that I'm having. Data members, how to write it, I'm going to take it. Inheritance skeleton model I wrote. Be careful, students. Now I'm going to write it. Online students, all of them need to follow me carefully. Now I'm going to write it. I'm going to say O1 is equal to C1 of. What is this line is called? Object creation. When an object is created, what is happening? I said, what is happening? I said, memory space created, initialized by calling the constructor. How many constructors are there? Two types. One is default, parameterized. Parameterized. Now I will go to what I can access, what I cannot access. What data member I can access, what data member I cannot access. What data member I can access, what data member I cannot access. Tell me. O1.a. Can I access it? Come on. O1.a. What is O1? object. What is the data member inside of it? A. How to access? O1 dot A. Possible to access or not? Yes, this is called a valid. O1 dot B. Valid to access or invalid? Invalid. Why invalid? Because it is not there inside the C1. O1 dot C. Is it valid or invalid? Invalid because they are not there in where? C1. So what is valid to access? Only A I can access. Other thing I cannot access. Okay. Now I'm going to take it. O2 is equal to C2 of. O2 is equal to C2 of. Now I'm writing O2 dot A. Valid or invalid? Hmm? Ma? Huh? అరే, ఏదో మారుస్తున్నారు మళ్ళా. Valid or invalid? Girls. ఫస్ట్ ఇన్వాలిడ్ ఏదో చెప్పినట్టుంది. ఇన్వాలిడ్ చెప్పారు కదా. Slowly you are changing it. Asking again and again. Valid you are saying. Valid or invalid? Why valid? It is inherited from C1 into C2. First think change it. So this is called a valid. Valid. Next is called what? O2 dot B. O2 dot B. What is the valid or invalid? Valid. O2 dot C. O2 dot C. Invalid. Invalid. Why O1 dot A is valid? It is available virtually, which is inherited from where? C1. Valid or invalid? Valid. So this is valid and invalid. Next, I'm going to create one more type of object. One more type of object I'm going to create. What is the next? O3 is equal to what? C3. O3 is equal to C3. Students, now I'm going to write it. O3 dot A, valid. O3 dot B, valid. O3 dot B, valid. O3 dot C, valid. So tell me O3 dot C valid. Why O3 dot A, O3 dot B valid, all those things? Because they are available virtually, which is generated from C1, C2 to where? C3. So tell me, by creating which class object, I can access everything? C3. That means whenever we develop any type of inheritance application, it is always recommended to create an object of bottommost derived class. It is always recommended to create an object of which class? Bottommost derived class. That is always recommended. So if I go to C1 to C2 and C2 to C3 and C4, C3 to what? C4. So which class object you will create? C4. This is called what? Grandparent, grandparent, and next parent, and then child. Grandparent did not study anything and make his son to study well. He studied what? Social studies he studied. Then done the job. Next parent, grandparent, son, parent. He studied science. Science he studied and done the job. And you are the one. You studied what? Hmm? You studied what? Computer science you studied. You studied computer science. You know social, science, computer science also. You know 64 subjects. But ఏమి రాదు మళ్ళా. మీరంటే మీరు కాదు. మీరంటే మీరు. Generally, I'm talking about all. So, coming to the point back, this entire thing, what is my conclusion is, we always recommended to create an object of which class? Bottommost derived class we can create. So I'm going to write it. Here I'm writing. When we develop any inheritance based application, it is always recommended to create, recommended to create an object of, recommended to create an object of which class? Bottommost derived class. Bottommost derived class. Because why it is recommended to create an object of bottommost derived class? Because inherits it inherits the features of it inherits the features of what? Topmost base class, topmost base class, topmost base class, comma, Hmm. What? Intermediate base class. Intermediate base classes. Intermediate base classes. Maybe one intermediate base class or maybe more than one intermediate base class. From where it is inheriting? Into bottommost derived class it is inheriting. From where? Topmost base class. C1 to where? C2. C1 to C2. C2 to C3. C3 to C4. Bottommost class is inheriting the topmost base class features. Also, intermediate base class features also inheriting. Right or not? So into intermediate base classes, topmost base classes are inheriting. So we will go for it. Next, last. We are going to the last. Online students, are you following? Is it clear for all of you? Quickly. Need to respond quickly here. Okay. Next, last I'm going to introduce. Students, for every class in Python, for every class in Python, for every class in Python, for every class in Java also, there exists a predefined, there exists a predefined, implicit predefined superclass. predefined implicit class. Implicit. That means you are not writing. Automatically available. Implicit class called object. Very, very important. Object. For every class in Python, there exists an implicit predefined superclass. Implicit, there exists an implicit predefined superclass. Ila so it will be good for you to pronounce. Implicit predefined superclass. For all the classes, there exists an implicit predefined superclass called object. Sir, what is this object? Because why this is only the superclass? Already I said because object class provides garbage collection facility, garbage collector, garbage collection facility. Garbage collection facility is coming from which class? Topmost base class. Every garbage collection collector will call what type of function? Destructor. So how many times it was defined? Only once. In which class? Object class, which is generated into int class, float class, bool class, list class. In every class, it is getting inherited. Even in while I'm explaining that, I shown you that. Go to the place. Here I shown you already in the class something like that. It was shown you in the classroom. Help of list. Help of list. See the superclass class list. What is the superclass? Object. Is it not something like an inheritance? Directly object is a superclass. Object class is going to inherit it into which class? List class, int class, any class you take it that are all getting inherited into this because the destructor concept defined once in the garbage collector that one time defining using in all the places. That's why every object is automatically collected by whom? Garbage collector. That garbage collector facility is coming from where? Garbage collector facility coming from where? Implicit superclass called object class. If you define your own class also, class employee, class EMP, I'm going to write class. So help of what? EMP. Help of EMP. For EMP also there is a superclass called what? Object. Every class of Python belongs to what I said, module. What is the implicit predefined module? Built-ins. Implicit default module. I already said you to this. And who is the superclass for object? No superclass is available. Help of what? Object. Help of object. There was no superclass. That itself is a class. There was no something like in the bracket. Nothing is written because this is only the topmost base class. Are you able to follow now? So something like that. All the classes. You can imagine something like this. In general life, you can imagine something like this. For example, suppose you are there, child you are, your parent, your parent, your grandparent. Do you know your grandparent? Hmm. Do you know your grandparent? Do you know your grandparent parent? Do you know? Hmm. Yes or no? No. Yes sir. Very good. Do you know his parent? Do you know third grandparent? Grandparent? Do you know? Hmm. No. These days, some most of them don't know grandparent also. What I observed, very less people knows. 25% people knows. Most of them don't know. Next, do you know fourth grandparent? Come on. You know, you don't know. Nothing wrong in that. You don't know means you don't know. Do you know? No. So, like that, one day there is a 10th grandparent is there or not? There is a 20th grandparent is there or not? That means some 1,000 years back, some your relative was there or not? So tell me, all these people, this grandparent will have a lot of subtrees or not? This is called the spreading of the society, right or not? In very long days back, some years back, how many grandparents was there? These are all people going on, coming. On the some 1,000 years, 2,000 years back, when the human being society created, how many grandparents was there? Only one. USA, India, all of them, there is only one grandparent is there. This country is coming because of one grandparent. This grandparent is called object class. ఈ స్టోరీ చెప్పకూడదు ఇంటర్వ్యూలో. Will you say all these things? No. So all Indians, why that in the national anthem, all Indians are ఏంటది బ్రదర్స్ అండ్ సిస్టర్స్ అని ఎందుకు చెప్పారు తెలుసా? ఎందుకే చెప్పింది. Some 2,000 years back in India, all you are there. In 2,000 years back, all your grandparents are one only. Do you know that? Even ఎట్లా చూస్తారు? 1,000 years back, some 2,000 years back, all of your grandparent is one only. That's why in national anthem also they said all brothers and all Indians are like that. They said why? They followed which concept? Inheritance concept they followed. Understand? That's why don't fight to each other. Okay. In 2000 years back, you're all what? Relatives. Will you fight? No, don't fight. So come to the point back. Don't tell this example anywhere. This is called subject of what? Inheritance. Did you understand the syntax? Hmm. Syntax. Don't think 2000 years back what happened. First you think about it. Job is coming or not, that is an important. So subject is important. Now I'm going to write one more important sentence. All the data types which are available into float. How many data types are there? 14 data types are there. All of them are what? Classes. They are the subclasses of what? Object class. So all the data types in Python are the subdata types of what? Object class. Connection class is there. In Oracle DB, connection class. Cursor class is there. They are also subclasses of which class? Object class. So now I'm going to write it. All the data types, all the data types of Python are are called subclasses of which class? Object class. Object class. Object class. That means object is the super data type of all the subdata types. Object is the super data type for all the data types of our class. 14 data types are there or not? For all the data types, what is the super type? Object type. That is also very, very important. So got it now. Finally, we understood the syntax. Now I'm going to enter into the programming. Is my syntax is clear? Right? Online students, is it clear for all of them? Is this is clear for all of them? Now I'm going to enter into the further. So I'm going to show you the inheritance mechanism. Going to the coding level. First example I'm going to start. How this is inheritance is going to be available now. So I'll introduce it. Only inheritance we don't use in real time. Inheritance with polymorphism we will use it. Let me close this part. Let me close this part here. Close this project. So here I'm going to write it. 11 a.m. whoops here. So close this entire thing. I'm going to write it. Enter into this. First I'm going to enter it to non-inheritance proc1.py. Non-inheritance proc1.py. So I'm going to write it. Non-inheritance. No inheritance I'm following. Only classes and object I'm going to follow. Next I'm going to write it. Class C1. Class C1. DEF. Display 1. Small example. Display 1. I will write it. C1. C1 class. What is the function name? Display 1. Display 1 I'm writing. Class C1. Display 1. Now I'm writing one more type of class. Class C2. Class C2. I'm going to write one more separate class. Display 2. I'm writing C2 display 2. Now I'm writing one more kind of class, C3. Now I'm going to write it. Now I'm going to write it. This is my classes. How many classes? 3 classes. Now I'm going to write the main program. To call these methods, what should I do next? To call these methods, what should I do? Create. How many objects? Come on. 3 objects I need to create. Can I create 3 objects? Come on, create. O1 is equal to what? C1 off. O1 is equal to what? C1 off. Next, O2 is equal to what? C2 off. O3 is equal to C3 off. O3 is equal to C3 off. How many objects created? 3 objects. If I have 4 classes, 4 objects. If I have 5 classes, 5 objects. Unnecessarily taking lot of memory space or not? Now I want to call, which method I want to call? Display method. Display 1, display 2, display 3. I have to call display 1 with respect to which object? C1 class object. How do you call? O1 dot display 1. దాన్ని చూసి చదువుతున్నారా ఓన్గా చెప్తున్నారా? Are you saying or you are going and seeing and type saying? Saying on your own or seeing and saying? Seeing and saying. Own, seeing and saying. Own. So say that. What is that? O1 dot display 1. Next, I will go for one more display 2 object I want to call. How do you call? O2 dot display 2. How do you call next? O3 dot display 2. That means display 1 is called what here? Function name, method name, method name. Method name is also called what? One object. So how many objects are there totally in my main program to execute my program? 6 objects are there. It is called what? Only classes and objects I am following. Next, I will rewrite the same program by using inheritance. I will write. Execute that. Now I'm getting an output like this. This is an output I got it. This is called what program? Non-inheritance program. This is non-inheritance program. This is. Now I want to go for what? Inheritance. I want to write it. Why I don't prefer this now? 3 objects I created, 3 methods I am calling. Totally 6 objects are there. If I have 4 classes, 4 methods, 8 objects. If I have 5 classes and 5 methods, 10. So my gradually objects are increasing. I don't want to go for it. Rewrite the same program by using which concept? Inheritance program I am going to take up. Look at that. I'm going to take it inhrog1.py. Very, very important, students. Go to the place. Here I'm going to take it. What is my class here? I will take this entire stuff. I'm going to carry this. See here. First, I will go to C1 of what? C2. C1 of C2. First, this is called C1. Which inheritance this is? Which inheritance this is? Single inheritance. Which class object I will create? Which class object I will create? Come on. C2 object I will create. O2 is equal to what? C2. Earlier, how many objects I used to create? Two. C1 object plus, but I am creating what? So one object only creating. Is it reducing the memory space or not? In C2 class, how many methods are there? Two methods are there. Online students respond. Two methods are there. What are the two methods? Display one, display two. Display one available virtually, display 2 available physically. So how do you write it? O2 dot display 1, display 1. How the flow will be? Display 1 called with respect to O2. O2 is an object of C2. Control goes to where? C2. Looking for display 1. There are not there. There are not there. Hmm. There are not there. Chepanda. Are you there or not there? Are you there in my class or not? Yes, you are there. Now display 1 is there or not there? Not there. So you are not there in my class. It is there. Virtually. Is online students are there in my class or not there? There. How? Virtually. Are you there in my class or not? How you are there? How online students are there? అదే కదా నేను నిన్న నుంచి చెప్పేది అదే కదా మీరు మామూలు కదా అసలు ఏదో కొద్దిగా తేడా కనిపిస్తున్నారు నాకు సంథింగ్ ఏదో బుద్ధిమంతుల్లో కనిపిస్తున్నారు అందరు బాయ్స్ అండ్ గర్ల్స్ ఎందుకో మళ్ళీ నాకు నాకు అట్లా కనిపిస్తా ఉన్నారు బుద్ధిమంతులు కానీ ఇది లేదు ఇది సో గోయింగ్ టు C2 లుకింగ్ ఫర్ వాట్ డిస్ప్లే 1 దెర్ ఆర్ నాట్ దెర్ హౌ that is executed. Virtual memory management means we don't write the code, don't take the memory space. That is called what? Virtual memory management. Very important. Neither we write the source code nor takes the physical memory space. Like that, we have to take it. Next, what is that? O2 dot display 2. How the flow is? Display 2 called with respect to O2. O2 is an object of C2. Go to C2 looking for display 2. Display 2 there or not there? How it is there? Physically. We'll get what? Two outputs will be coming. Two outputs. So how many objects I'm using here? Three. If it is a non-inheritance program, how many? Four I will write it. C1, O1, C1, O2, C2. Plus two functions I will call. But here is it one object reduced or not? This is called which type of inheritance? Single inheritance. Online students, careful. Now I will speed up. Little bit speed up. Go to this one. Here I'm going to write it. 2.py. 2.py. There I'm going to write it. There I'm going to write it. In this case, now I'm going to write it. One more class I will write it. C3 of display of like this. Which class object I will create, students? Which class object I will create? C3 class object I will create. Which inheritance this is? Come on. Which inheritance? Yes, C3. See the diagram చూసుకోండి సార్ ఇక్కడ ఈ బాక్స్ ఇది Icham also showing the symbolic notation down. Symbolic notation down. So it is nothing but coming from this place. How many objects I will create? Three objects I will create or only one object? Which object? Bottommost object I will create because it is inheriting everything into the bottommost. How do you call? O3 dot display 1. O3 dot display 1. Come on. O3 dot display 2. Next O3 dot display 3. These are the three things. Display 1 and display 2 are available logically or physically? Virtually. Virtually is nothing but logically also you can say. Okay. How many objects I created here? One object only created. Earlier, how many objects created? Three. Three methods. Totally how many? Six. But here how many? Four. You imagine, is gradually reduced or not? If I go to comparison non-inheritance, if I take it, I am having what? 100 classes, 100 methods are there in each class. How many objects I have to create? 200 objects. 200 objects will be created. If it is an inheritance, what is happening? 100 classes are there. In that one base class and multiple derived classes are there. 100 methods are there. How many objects I have to create? 101 objects I will create. What is that 101? 100 methods anyhow you will call. But which class you will create? Bottommost class object only you will create. That's why it is called what? 101. Here how many? Which is the most best here? inheritance. When I go to polymorphism, that is the next one. Same 100 classes, 100 methods, 100 methods, 100 classes, 100 methods. I'm going to create how many objects only? Only two objects I will create. That is the most perfect representation. So non-inheritance, inheritance, polymorphism. I'll give you what is polymorphism. Not your college. Poly plus morphism is equal to polymorphism. Adi Munnaba MBBS. మీ ప్రీవియస్ గత జన్మలో జరిగినటువంటి స్టోరీ. This we are redefining your lifestyle in the coding. So what is this polymorphism says? You have 1,000 objects, 1,000 methods, but I will create how many? Only two objects I will create. One bottommost class object, one method only I will call, and everything will be executing perfectly. So non-inheritance, inheritance, polymorphism. Which is the best? Polymorphism. Better inheritance. Good classes. Compared to what? Functional programming. Functional programming good is classes. Inheritance is most better than classes. Polymorphism is the best. So that's why any application you develop in OOPS, we will straightforward go to polymorphism. So polymorphism uses inheritance. Inheritance uses classes and object. In turns, we can apply encapsulation and abstraction also. Are you following? So what is encapsulation? Last. ఎక్కడైతే ఆగిపోయిందో అక్కడ లేయాలి తొందరగా. వాట్ ఈజ్ ఎన్కాప్సులేషన్? అనుకో సార్ మర్చిపోతాడని. సార్కి అన్ని గుర్తుంటాయి. డోంట్ ఫోల్డ్ ద హ్యాండ్స్ ఐ సెడ్. ఎందుకు భయపడతావు? డోంట్ ఫియర్ వెన్ ఐఎమ్ హియర్, వెన్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఈజ్ హియర్. ఈ మూడు ఉంటే ఏం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. వాట్ ఈజ్ ఎన్కాప్సులేషన్? నేను అడగలేను, ఆయన కాడే ఉన్నాను. ఓకే చెప్పులే. వాట్ ఈజ్ ఎన్కాప్సులేషన్? ఏదది? వాట్ ఈజ్ ఎన్కాప్సులేషన్? నెక్స్ట్. టూ టూ హిడనా? టూ హిడన్ అట్లా అసలు ఏమన్నా ఇనిపుట్ అది వినడానికి మంచిగా ఉంది అది. టూ హిడన్, టూ హిడనా? టూ టూ హైడింగ్. టూ అనేది ప్రిపోజిషన్, హైడింగ్ అనేది ప్రజెంట్ కంటిన్యూస్ టెన్స్. అవి రెండు యాక్చువల్గా వన్ జరుగుతుంది. అది ఫార్ వచ్చినప్పుడు హైడింగ్ వస్తుంది. అది ఇంగ్లీష్. అది నాకు అసలు ఇంగ్లీష్ రానే రాదు, అయినా నేను మాట్లాడుతున్నా. మీరు ఇంగ్లీష్ మీడియం చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి. నెక్స్ట్. వాట్ ఇస్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ఎన్కాప్సులేషన్? బటన్ పెట్టుకో, మళ్ళీ ఫోల్డ్, నార్మల్ నిలబడు. వాట్ ఇస్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ఎన్కాప్సులేషన్? చెప్పానా నేను? ఎస్టర్డే సెడ్ ఆర్ నాట్? ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ఎన్కాప్సులేషన్ ఇస్ to hide the confidential data, to hide the confidential data regarding instance data members, instance methods from external programmers or external users. We will use what? Data encapsulation to provide the security to the data members of the class and methods of the class. చూడం, చదువుకోండి, చదువుకోండి కొద్దిగా. సార్ అడిగినప్పుడు ఇట్లా ఇట్లా ఇది కాదు, అది ఇట్లా అనుకుంటే నేనేదో మీకు అవార్డు ఇయ్యను. వెదర్ యూఆర్ సేయింగ్ ఆన్సర్ అన్నాడు, దట్ ఇస్ అన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ మీ. ఆన్సర్ కావాలి నాకు. పొలైట్నెస్ నో, నో ఇంటర్నల్ మార్క్స్ హియర్. Come here. How many objects? 4. If you come to inheritance, which level inheritance it is? Come on. Multi-level inheritance. So now run this code. Now we are getting the same answer like a first answer. Which is the best answer? Which is the best answer? Huh? Inheritance answers are the better answers compared to non-inheritance answers. Online students, are you following me? Are you able to follow this now? Similarly, the same inheritance, if I go to hierarchical inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple, singular. What inheritance the program you have seen? What inheritance this is? Multi-level. Now the same program, I'm trying to give you this type of inheritance. Look at that. What type of inheritance I'm preparing? This is called C1, C2. Now I'm going to write it C1, C2, C1, C2. Which type of inheritance this is? Multiple. Spell out. Multiple, multi-level, multiple level inheritance, multiple inheritance only. So which class object I will create? E3 class object also I will create. Same answer will be coming here also. Same answer will be coming. Hierarchical inheritance, if you want to go for it. Hierarchical inheritance very rarely you will come across, but still we will be going for that. Here I'm going to take up the same kind of thing in this place. Observe it. C2 to C1, and the next is called what C3 to C1. That time I need to create two objects. What is that? Print of with respect to what? C2. What is that now? O2 is equal to C2 of O2 dot display 1 and O2 dot what? Display 2. display 2. Next is called with respect to C3. O3 is equal to C3 of O3 dot display 1 and O3 dot what display 3. Display 3. I cannot call display 2. Why? C3 class does not contain O2 kada. What is the diagrammatic representation? First of all, C1 is coming to where? C2 and C1 is coming to where? C3. C3. This is going to be like this. This is going to be like that. Here display 1 is there. Here display 2 is there. Here display 3 is there. This both of them can be called here. Here display 3 and display 1 can be called with respect to C3. This is called the subject of which one? Hierarchical. Next I will go to what is the next one? Like this I will go for it. What is the next one? C1 to C2. C2 to C3. C3, C2 and C3 to where? C4. Which inheritance it is? Hybrid. Hybrid. Python supports all types of inheritances perfectly. Now I'm going to introduce this type of inheritance. Be careful, ma. C1, C1 to 2, this one is completed. As this I will cover. This is C2 and this C3. This program is satisfying this one. Now I am going to write something like a C4. I am going to add it. C4 I am going to add. Class C4 of what? C3 2 comma C3. Which inheritance it is? Multiple. Multiple. There I'm going to write a C4. Now I'm going to write like this. Which class object I will create? Bottommost class object I will create. Which one? O4 is equal to C4. Come on. O4 dot display 1. O4 dot display 2. Display 2. O4 dot display 3. O4 dot display 4. These many number of objects are going to come. Execute this now. So you got it. All the methods are getting executed here. I think you are understanding the significance of hybrid inheritance also here. Is it clear? This inheritance makes you to understand how to inherit the methods. Now I'm talking about data members. I will go for it. Shall we go for the data members? Right. Constructors also are getting inherited. I will explain one by one. Online students, is it clear, mom? This is called a single. This is called multi-level. This is called hierarchical. This is called what? Multiple. Next, this is known as what hybrid inheritance. This is going to be showing. Now it is the time to see to go for the data members also. I'm going to take up very, very easy. Let me go to 5.py. 5.py. So 5.py. Simple. Start. Class parent. Class parent. There I'm going to take it. T of get the parent property. Get the parent property. I'm going to take it. Get the parent property. There I'm going to write it. What is that? Self dot parent property is equal to float of input of get parent property. Are you following? So I'm going to take what is the PP type? What is the PP type called? What is the PP type is called? Mudu. It is calling with respect to self. What is the self type? Self is called what? Implicit object of our physical object. So PP is which type? Instance data member. Any data member called with respect to self, it is called instance data member. How many ways are there to call instance data members? Two ways. One is object name dot instance data member name, self dot instance data member name. What is self? Last. What is self? There only stopped a previous. Stopped here. What is the self? Hmm? Self is a inside, instead, instant. Huh? Instant class, instance class object. What is that instance class object? Self. I said 3 points. You want to say? Okay. Say. Very good. Second point. I don't know. 3 points I said. మనకి ఎప్పుడు కంప్లీట్ గా రాదు కొద్దిగా తోక పాయింట్ వస్తాయి తోక పాయింట్స్ సపోజ్ గుడ్ పాయింట్ షుడ్ సెల్ఫ్ ఈజ్ వన్ యూ వాంట్ టు సే వెరీ గుడ్ వెరీ గుడ్ సెల్ఫ్ షుడ్ బి ఆల్వేస్ ఫస్ట్ పొజిషనల్ ఫార్మల్ పారామీటర్ ఇన్ ద ఇన్స్టెన్స్ మెథడ్ డిడ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఆర్ ఎస్ థర్డ్ పాయింట్ సార్ మీరు ఇట్లా పాయింట్ వైజ్ అడిగితే చాలా కష్టం నెక్స్ట్ థర్డ్ పాయింట్ అసలు థర్డ్ పాయింట్ ఉందో అని కూడా తెలియదు మనకు డోంట్ నో సో Should Since self is the first positional formal parameter, we cannot access that self in other part of the program. We have to access inside the corresponding instance method definition only. We cannot access in other part of the program. That is called what is self. Explain or not explain? But need to remember. No? All good boys. All good. Everything is good. రాముడు మంచి బాలుడు కానీ చదువు రావాలి. Good. There is no use. You are not an apple in the showcase of the home. Supposed to eat. When I eat, it should use to the organs. Same thing you also. Only good is no use. Knife, good, but it should cut the paper. If paper also not cutting, what do you throw it out in the dustbin? Or put some sharp. Sharp means what? Reading my notes. Girls దగ్గర అమ్మాయి అయిపోయింది ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ అమ్మాయి దగ్గరికి వస్తుంది ఇప్పుడు. సో డన్. నెక్స్ట్ ఐ విల్ గో టు ద నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ కాల్డ్ పేరెంట్. బాయ్స్ చాలా కలగా కనిపిస్తున్నారు ఇప్పుడు. ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళని అడుగుతాడు సార్ తిడతాడని. క్లాస్ చైల్డ్. Class child. There I'm writing child property. There I'm going to write it. CP self.cp is equal to enter child property. Enter child property. Okay. Go to, but what I want to do now? What I want to do? Every child will get the properties of what? Parent. So I will write what here? What I'm writing? Parent I'm writing. Which type of inheritance? Come on. Single inheritance. Go to main program. ఇప్పుడు గర్ల్స్ క్వశ్చన్స్ మొదలవుతాయి ఇప్పుడు. How do you create an object of child? CO is equal to child of. Tell me how many values are there in CO? How many values are there in CO? How many values are there in CO? మూడోసారి. How many values are there in CO? చెప్పాలమ్మా ఏదో ఒకటి చెప్పాలి. Don't know or don't know? You know, you don't know. Don't know. 35సారి చెప్తున్నా. LN of CO dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore of. That will give you 0. ఆల్రెడీ చాలాసార్లు చెప్పాను అది. చెప్పలా? చెప్పాను. మరి మనకు గుర్తు ఎందుకు ఉండదు అనేది ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇట్ ఇస్ టాప్ సీక్రెట్. సో CO dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore dict. It is going to contain empty. Empty. First of all, it is an empty. Length if you go for it, length if you go for it, it is going to be like this 0. How many values are there? No values are there. Now I want to go for keep the values. How to keep the values? So call which function? Get parent property, which is inherited into which class? Child class. Available logically or virtually or physically? Virtually. CO dot what now? Get the parent property. Get parent property. Now how many values are there in CO now? How many values are there in CO now? How many? 1. Why? We are getting PP only. You want to see that? You want to see that print of CO dot underscore underscore dictive. Whoops is very complicated actually, but it's very easy. నాకైతే అసలు చాలా ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. వెరీ సింపుల్ ఐ ఫీల్. ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఎంటీ. ఐ సే 10. ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ PP:10. అసలు నాకు ఇది ఎల్కేజీ చదివినట్టు కూడా ఉండదు అసలు. Because in Java, we always went to research and development. Java whoops are very complicated. I can say in one word, the people who are learning Java in Amirpet, they don't know anything. When I look at it with my eyes, I feel that they are layman's only, but they are learning Java. If I ask one single question, why main method will take array of objects of string class, they'll say, no, no, sir, atla rayaladi. You have to write like that only. Why to write? They don't know. That is what they are learning it. Not only one student, everybody. How many objects? One object. Next, I will go to, what is that now? CO dot what? Get the child property. Again, you call it. How many values are there? 2 values are available. 2 values. 10. Child property 3. That is PP value is there. CP value is there. In which object? CO. Now I will calculate total property. Total property I will calculate. How to calculate the total property? Now I am going to write it. CO dot get TOT property. TOT property. How do I go for it? TOT property is a method I want to define in the class called child. DEF get a total property of self here. Now I am going to write it. How do I calculate the total property? Self dot TOT is equal to self dot PP plus self dot CP. Self dot CP. What is the self? I already said. Here I will write it. What is that now? Parent property. Parent property. I'm going to write it is equal to comma self dot what? PP, PP. Next I will write it what? Child property, CP I will write it. Child property, I will write it. Next I will write it. Total property. Total property I will write it. Total property is equal to what? TOT. I will write it. Try to execute. I'm calculating some formula and I'm printing all these things. Execute it. So say the value called 10 and then say 2 and the answer is what? 12. Are you following this? So what are you understanding? Whatever the data members are there in the base class, they're coming to the derived class. I'm doing some calculation. In other way around, which inheritance it is? Single inheritance with calculation also carried out. Now go to the next 6.py students, 6.py. There I'm going to write it 5 dot here. Now I'm going to take a 6.py. I want to go for it. 6.py I am going to take it. Here I'm going to write 6.py. Here I'm going to write. In this case, I'm going to create child only. I'm going to call it. Please answer all of you. I'm directly writing. CO dot get TOT property. What will happen that time? It will go to where? Get a TOT property. Can anybody can answer me what is an answer here? You will get it. Child object created. Directly I am calling total property. What is the self dot PP? Come on. Very good. Attribute error. Why? CO is containing which data? Empty. Empty dot what? Get TOT. And how can you get self dot PO PP? It is not there. Nothing is there in CO. How can you get this now? Attribute error PP. Attribute error PP. Now, how to get PP? Call which method? Base class method. How do you call? In this case, before calculating, come on, self dot parent property. That means a derived class methods can call what? Base class method. That is a new concept. In classes, single class, one instance method can call another instance method with what? Self dot or with respect to object dot. But here we need to call with respect to self dot. Next, a child property also you need to call it child property of same class. Instance method, calling the another instance method of same class, then only they are going to work out. Now execute it now. Simple. Now go to the place. It is called 12. It is called 1.2. Getting the answer called something like this. So this model makes you to understand how a derived class method can call the base class method. This is called which inheritance? Single inheritance. Online students, did you understand, mom? Did you understand this example quickly? I need to know quickly here. So I will go to the next moment. Here I'm going to write it 7.py. 7.py. The same example I will carry here. I will try to post it over here. There I'm going to write it 7.py. This is going to be grandparent. I will take it. So here I'm writing here grandparent. Just I'm enlarging this grandparent. Here I'm writing get grandparent property. This is called GPP grandparent property. So here I'm going to write it grandparent property inheritance here. Now I'm going to get it of what is this now? Grandparent. Grandparent I'm going to take it. Here I'm going to take this is the one parent and grandparent properties are coming to parent. Parent properties are coming to child. The child is having child property as well as this one. And along with that, here I will call it as CO dot. Which one extra need to call? Get grandparent property. So here I will write it also what? Self dot self dot GPP plus I will write like this and I will print the parent property also. Grandparent property also I will print it. So here I'm writing grandparent property. Total property I said try to execute this. So anywhere else? So here PP. This is called what GPP. GPP. Try to execute. Here I need to write colon colon. Try to execute grandparent property 10 and parent property something like this 1.2. You are going to get 10 plus 2 plus 1.2. It is called something like this. Are you able to understand? Next, which inheritance it is? Multi-level. Multi-level. Now you are going to get it. One more type of inheritance, last and final. So you'll be getting it 7.py, 8.py. There I'm going to carry this entire thing. Go to this place. Here I will convert this into which type? 8.py. Here I'm going to write it. Remove this. Here I'm going to eliminate. Here in this case I'm writing. What is this? Grandparent. So grandparent is not giving properties to parent. And grandparent and parent, both the properties are coming to child. Which inheritance it is? Multiple. Create an object of child only. Overall together. Same model of this now. Same model of the subject. So there I'm going to write it. Some 12, some 3, some 3.4. you'll be getting the answer something like this. Are you able to follow now? Shall I move to the next? Like that, you can go for what also? Hybrid inheritance also you can take. Hierarchical inheritance also you can take. Online students, is it clear, students? Is it understanding now? So now I will go to one more type of example. I want to go for it. Shall I go for one more example? Open your notes, all of you. Quickly open it. Write a Python program. Write a Python program. Write a Python program which will implement the following. 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 Right. Let us assume, follow carefully, students. Let us assume there exists a university. There exists a university. Write down. There exists a university which contains which contains university name, which contains university name, the location and the location, which contains university name and the location. Okay, right. Continue. Accept and display. Accept and display. Accept and display. Accept and display university details. Accept and display university details. Okay. Continuation. Continue. Let us assume there exists a college. Let us assume there exists a college which contains which contains college name, college name, and its location, and its location, college name, and its location. Full stop. Accept and display. Accept and display. Accept and display. College details along with university details. Accept and display. College details along with university details. Accept and display. College details along with university details. Which inheritance that is? Up to that problem, which inheritance? Single inheritance. What is the superclass there? University. What is the derived class there? College. Continue. Continue. Are you writing notes? Only bending the head and doing something. Morning, one student has done like that. When I'm dictating, he is bending and writing, but without completing the sentence, he is looking up. The rhythm is not matching. I am observing that. I found that. Anybody is doing like that? Hmm? Anybody doing? So don't do that. So you are writing for your purpose only. Right. Continue. Let us assume. Let us assume there exists a student. There exists a student. There exists a student which contains. There exists a student which contains. Which contains student number. Student number. Comma. Student name. Student name and course pursuing. Course pursuing. Course pursuing. Course pursuing. Full stop. Accept and display. Accept and display. Accept and display. Accept and display. Student details along with. Accept and display. Student details along with. Accept and display. Student details along with. College and university details. College and university details. Which inheritance this is? Hmm? ఏంటది? What is that? కొద్ది గట్టిగా చెప్తే ఏమైంది? See, we say only the two language, it will become problem. If you say confidently, that means you are confident enough. If you say that side or this side, something like that, you're not confident. Which inheritance? Multi-level. Multi-level or multiple? Multi-level. Now I'm going to start. What is the bottom class? Student. What is the top class? University. What is the intermediate class? College. So let us start writing here. Look at all of you. Class, university, class, university. Now I'm going to take it. Get, I said university details. I said accept and display. Accept means I will take one method called what? Get. These are called what? Getting from the keyboard. Now there I'm going to write it. Self dot u name is equal to is equal to input of input of input of enter university name. Self dot ULOC is equal to see. Don't try to read out that sentence. ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఒకసారి. University location converted into float. Possible? Come on. What is the error will come? What error will come? What error will come? Next, what error will come? What error will come? Next, next. Ma? Type error wrong answer. Huh? Good. నాకు వినిపించింది కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సరే. విచ్ ఎర్రర్? నువ్వు లే లే నువ్వు చెప్పారు కరెక్టే. విచ్ ఎర్రర్? కరెక్టే. చెప్పేసేయి. చాలా రోజుల తర్వాత చెప్పావు కరెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్. టెల్ మీ. నిజంగా కరెక్ట్. వాట్ ఎర్రర్? యూ సెడ్ కరెక్ట్ ఓన్లీ. ఐ హర్డ్ కరెక్ట్. విచ్ ఎర్రర్? విచ్ ఎర్రర్? ఏమనలే. ఐ డోంట్ సే ఎనీథింగ్. టెల్ మీ. విచ్ ఎర్రర్? నాట్ సే. సిడ్. యూ సెడ్ నేమ్ ఎర్రర్ కరెక్ట్? నేమ్ ఎర్రర్ యూ సెడ్. కరెక్ట్? రాంగ్ ఆన్సర్ దట్ ఈస్. సి ఈ సెడ్ దట్ ఓన్లీ. ఐ హర్డ్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. దట్స్ రాంగ్ కు చాలా సౌండ్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. రాంగ్ విల్ హావ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ సౌండ్. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఎర్రర్ మా సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్. రాంగ్ ఆన్సర్. డోంట్ నో. నేను రాకముందే తింటున్నారు వీళ్ళు. ఐ డి నాట్ కమ్ దేర్. అట్రిబ్యూటెడ్ రాంగ్ ఆన్సర్. సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్ రాంగ్ ఆన్సర్. మిగిలిన ఎర్రర్ చెప్తే సరిపోతుంది. వాల్యూ ఎర్రర్. వాల్యూ ఎర్రర్. సో వాల్యూ ఎర్రర్ ఇట్ ఈస్. ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ విచ్ వన్? లొకేషన్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ వాట్? స్ట్రింగ్. స్ట్రింగ్ కన్వర్టెడ్ ఇంటూ విచ్ టైప్? ఫ్లోట్. ఎప్పుడు చెప్పాను ఇది? మీరు చిన్నప్పుడు స్కూల్ డ్రెస్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు చెప్పాను అది. When you are in school dress, I said in typecasting techniques, in that float I will open it. చూడండి నా మన నోట్స్ భారత రాజ్యాంగంతో సమానం. ఇండియన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఈక్వల్ టు గో టు దిస్ ప్లేస్, గో టు ప్యూర్ ఎస్టీఆర్. ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ప్యూర్ ఎస్టీఆర్ ఇన్ టు ఫ్లోట్ టైప్. నాట్ పాసిబుల్. విచ్ ఎర్రర్? వాల్యూ ఎర్రర్. చూడండి సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్, నేమ్ ఎర్రర్. అన్నాడు నాకు ఫేవరెట్ స్టూడెంట్ ఆయన బాగా. నేను ఎన్ని అన్నా కానీ మీరు ఏమనుకోరు. అది నాకు చాలా నచ్చుతుంది అది. అందుకనే మీరంటే నాకు చాలా ఇష్టము. బట్ ఒక్కోసారి కోపం వస్తుంది. ఐ విల్ ఫీల్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ యాంగ్రీ. సో మీకు వై యూ విల్ నాట్ సే ఎనీథింగ్? బికాస్ సార్ నోట్స్ కంటైన్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ దట్. యూ గో టు ఎనీ ఇంటర్వ్యూ, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద నోట్స్. ఏమి చెప్పారు? సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్, టైప్ ఎర్రర్. వీళ్ళు ఇది కూడా ఒక ఎర్రరే. హెడ్ మూవ్ ఎర్రర్, సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్, ఇంకేదో మాది ఎర్రర్. ఏమైతే ఏమేమో చెప్పేస్తారు. సో విచ్ ఎర్రర్? ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ నాట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్? ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. మరి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి ఆన్లైన్ స్టూడెంట్స్. సో నాట్ పాసిబుల్ అనికేత్ సెట్. బట్ విచ్ ఎర్రర్ ఇట్ ఈస్? Value error. Okay, now I will write it. Input of enter university location. Now I'll go to DEF display university details. There I'm going to print university details. I will print. So I'm going to print university details. University details I will print. So I'm printing there. You can print of \t university name. University name I can print. Here I'm going to write it is equal to comma self dot what? U name. Next is called what? University location I say. University location I say. This is done like this. I will go for this kind of thing. Go to this place of 50. I'm printing those details something like this. Got it. Similarly, I want to write what? This is my class is tested. And one acceptance, one display. Now I'll go to what next? College. In college, what I will take it? In the college also, I will take this kind of methods like this. These things I will just go for taking get college details. get college details. Here I am writing college details. Enter what name? College name. College name. So this is called some college name. So I will write it college name. And I will write it what here? College location. College location. That is called CLOC. Next is called a display what here? College details. College details. There I am going to write it. College details here. College details. Now I am going to write it. Which name? College name I am going to write it. C name I am going to write it. Next I am going to write it what? CLOC. College location I am going to write it. So here I am going to write it. College location. This is what I am going to take up. See students, along with the college details, I want which details also? University details also I want to take it. So here I am going to write it what? UNIVE I will write it. UNIVE I wrote it. So this part you take off. This is the one I said. Single inheritance. Similarly, I will go for which details next? Student details I will take it. Online students, class student, student I am going to take it. There I will write it. Get student details. I will go for enter student name. Okay. Student course. Student location. No. Student course. Student course. CRS I am writing. CRS I am writing. Along with the CRS, I want to get it what ma? Self dot SNO is equal to. There I will write it. Int of input of student number. Three details I got it. P of display student details I'm taking. Student number I will print. This is called college details. I got it. Now student details I got it. Next I'm getting it. Student number I got it. Next student name I got it. Student course I got it. Student course I got it. Okay. Now I will try to close this area. Now this student requires college details also. College already got it. What details? University details I got it. Which inheritance it is? Multi-level. Multi-level. Which class object I will create? Which class object I will create? Student I will create. Student. Why? Student contains all the previous class methods also here. Come on, create. SO is equal to what? Student of. Student of. Call what details? Call what details? I will call SO dot get STUD details. STUD details. Student details. So I'm going to write it. Get student details. ఇక్కడ function ఉందా? Okay. Get student details. This function I will call it. Then next I will call what? SO dot get college details. Get college details. I will get first get data. Next I will go to what? SO dot get what details? University details. First I will get all those details. Later I will display which details? University details first. In memo, university details will be there. Display university details, display college details, display student details. Are you following? Come on. Yes, very simple. Beginning, what is the content of SO? 36 sorry, empty. అండర్ స్కోర్ డిక్ నేను అది అడగలేదు అసలు అది. కానీ నీకు అదొకటే వచ్చు కాబట్టి చెప్పావు. వాట్ ఇస్ ద కంటెంట్? ఎంటీ. హౌ టు ప్రింట్ దట్ కంటెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ ఆబ్జెక్ట్? Object name dot underscore d underscore like that we need to say. So coming to the point back on this now, number called 100. Next is called Ravi Kumar. Ravi Kumar. So BTech CSC BTech CSC fila. ఏదోలే. No knowledge. No knowledge. So enter the college name. ఏదో college. So ABC college. If I write any college name, they may feel. So coming to the location, something like this, I will write. So now I will write it. University name, something like JNTUC, JNTUH. So I wrote it. Location, HYD. So I wrote it. All the details got it. Which details got it? University details. College details only coming, but student details, why not coming? Okay. Call that also. Display student details is missing. Now you execute all of them. Now I'm going to write it. Enter the student number 100. Next is called what something like Rakesh. Next is called BE CSC, OUCET, something like Tarnaka. So next is called university name, Usmania University. That is the campus college, Usmania University. Next is called HYD. So you are going to get all the details. University details got it, college details got it, and student details got it. These are all called what? how to get the properties from, and whatever the bigger application it is, I will get that university. This was defined by somebody. This I'm going to get it. This I'm going to get it into this place. This is a way you can develop. Any big problem is given. If you study that problem carefully, we can do it. We can save this entire details into the database also. Database means what you will do. Again, I will write the database communication code or not. How many steps are there? 6 steps are there. Do you remember all 6 steps? Yeah, no doubt. So if you remember 6 steps, already I said you database communication with whoops na. You can write that code also, right? So this is introduction. That is programming on inheritance. Next class, that is a tomorrow class. Simply, I will add polymorphism to this concept. Polymorphism, I will add it. So polymorphism concept is really important. Tomorrow class, I will add polymorphism to this area. So if I go back to my concept, if I go back to my concept here, in this case 11 a.m. under the whoops, if you come back there, I'm going to talk about index. If you see, tomorrow I'm going to add concept of, this is today syntax I said, examples I said. Tomorrow I will introduce this area, polymorphism concept I will add. In this polymorphism, method overriding will come, constructor overriding will come. These two will be coming with the polymorphism I am adding. Don't miss it. Tomorrow class I will take which concept? Polymorphism adding to the inheritance. There is a small concept is there. I will cover that. Polymorphism I will explain. I will explain super approach and class name approach, method overriding and constructor overriding concept I will explain. And polymorphism is a very important topic. First you practice all these examples. Inheritance based examples you practice. Data members inheritance I said, method inheritance I said. And also said today, non-inheritance what is happening I said, inheritance what is happening I said. Next tomorrow I'm going to introduce polymorphism. How best it is providing the high efficiency to the inheritance you are going to see. So it is not going to complete. Still some time after 12:51. Will stop my class. Tomorrow class I will add polymorphism to this existing inheritance concept. Practice and come. Right. Carry on.